Liberated, freed, released, free from traditional social restraints, sisters, girls or women who share a common ancestry, allegiance, character, or purpose with another or others, fellow Black women or girls.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings. I'm Sister Charlene Muhammad. Welcome to Liberated Sisters. Let me get a visual real quickly. Hello, everybody. I'm back. Liberated Sisters is back on the air. Thank you so much to the Closing the Gap Broadcast Network. And I'm coming to you, I would like to say on location from the NOI Los Angeles graduation for their university students, but I'm not going to be broadcasting any of that, so I'm not able to say that. However, I am honored and blessed to be here with you, returning to the airwaves. So Thursday nights on Closing the Gap Broadcast Network, on my YouTube channel, Liberated Sisters, and my Facebook channel, although due to heavy censorship for some very riveting, important, groundbreaking, not like any other coverage we have been doing, that page might be censored. But please spread the word that we are live. We're in Los Angeles, and we, again, have a great graduation coming up. But right now, we're going to go into the Justice Report for the Final Call newspaper. And I'll show you again the cover story. Look at that. Y'all look at Brother Malcolm Jamal Warner. Oh, he really reminds me of my brother, affectionately known as Uncle Brian, Byron Bob, Brian Bob. But, you know, he passed away recently. The cover story is there, and we talk about his drowning, accidental drowning in the Caribbean. And let me know if there's any issue hearing me. But also, there's just a lot of different pieces of information that's coming out about his drowning. But for the most part, the final call goes into a lot of the tributes, the prayers, and the well wishes, and the reflections about him. So that's our cover story for this week, Malcolm Jamal Warner. And before we continue, I would like to ask you to subscribe to Final Call at finalcalldigital.com. You can get the entire edition right there. It can even be read to you through the app, as well as subscribe to the Final Call Radio. That is 24/7. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Here's an image from Final Call Radio. 24-hour messages streaming live, finalcallradio.com. And so we'll get now into the story. I'll leave Brother Malcolm Jamal Warner up there, widespreadly known for his role as the lovable Theo in on the Cosby Show. Let me open up the paper and go into some of that. Wow, I love the image that they're showing of him in his red baseball LA cap. I'll just go through some of the paper. I have some notes. I wasn't going to go into the cover story, but I decided let's do it. Let's do it. So, in More Than an Actor, celebrating and remembering the life of Malcolm Jamal Warner, tributes, prayers, and reflections continue to be shared by people in all walks of life. And I mean all walks of life, as they honor and remember the life of the cultural impact and the cultural impact of Brother Malcolm Jamal Warner. He was an actor, director, and an artist. So we start out saying that as a member of television royalty, he passed away from an accidental drowning in Costa Rica on July 20th. The 54-year-old was beloved again in part for his portrayal of the lovable teen Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show. He's a husband and a father. He was on a family vacation. He was swimming at Playa Grande in Cuita, Limon, Costa Rica, when he was swept away by a strong current. Now, initial reports stated that his 8-year-old daughter was with him in the water. However, Costa Rican officials at press time clarified that she wasn't. And according to reports, a 29-year-old man who attempted to help him was released from a local hospital on July 23rd. Now, so much more has been coming out in the press. And of course, people have been saying things online and social media. We won't do that, and I certainly won't do that just in respect of the family. But I will go on to read some more about Brother Malcolm because the more details about his death are unfolding. And so Dr. Bill Cosby, who brought us the Cosby Show, legendary entertainer and comic, said that Malcolm, quote, Malcolm was more than an actor, and his body of work will continue to humanize all races, all religions, and all genders forever. Mr. Cosby, as you may recall, played the dad, Cliff Huxtable, on The Cosby Show. We were able to get his statement from Mr. Andrew Wyatt, that's his spokesperson and representative. And Mr. Wyatt told us that upon getting the call about his TV son's death, that Dr. Cosby felt like he had received a call in 1997 while he was taping The Cosby Show, and that's when he was told that his son, his own biological son, Ennis, had been murdered. So here's a quote from Dr. Cosby. It was devastating. I was not just Malcolm's TV dad, but we were friends, and Malcolm's love and kindness was to embrace all people that he worked with. Mr. Wyatt himself shared a comment saying that Mr. Warner's portrayal of Theo resonated with him like so many others who were glued to the TV screen on Thursday evenings to watch the hit show. Here's a quote from Mr. Wyatt. Growing up in the projects of Bessemer, Alabama, every teenage boy wanted to exemplify the character of Theo, Malcolm, and every young girl wanted Theo, Malcolm, as a brother. He continues, he didn't really know him, and he had only spoke to him twice. But through Dr. Cosby, Mr. Wyatt said that he began to soak up the same love the iconic entertainer instilled in Mr. Warner. That was to stand on the foundation of truth and integrity. There's more from some of his co-stars and others in the article, More Than an Actor. The final call goes on into the national section. And we may be hearing from Houston-based attorney Pamela Muhammad during the show. But carrying us into the national section, Brother Turi Muhammad of Chicago continues with Bridging the Gap. This is a story about Black physicians who confront racial health disparities. And so Brother Turi talks about the deep political division, policy gridlock, and widening social inequality that the U.S. is grappling with. The health and wellness, he says, of Black communities remain at critical risk. Now, Brother Turi also goes on in this issue of the final call. Some of the issues are unchecked. Violence in underserved neighborhoods to the manipulation of Medicaid and Medicare policy are among the issues. These issues demand more than clinical solutions, and Black physicians are stepping beyond hospital walls into the front lines, or onto the front lines rather, of advocacy, education, and systemic change to confront a crisis that continues to escalate. One of those physicians is our own brother, Dr. Abdullah Hassan Pratt. We saw Dr. Pratt at the Nation of Islam's National Training Conference, spearheaded by Dr. Aziz and Mama Aziz and their team. We'll get more into that. But Dr. Pratt is a Southside emergency physician. He's an emergency medicine physician at the University of Chicago Medical Center. Dr. Pratt is also the founder of two, not one, two life-saving initiatives. One is the Trauma Recovery and Prevention of Violence TRAP program, and the other is the Medical Careers Exposure and Emergency Preparedness. That's MedSEEP program. Now, both of these programs are rooted in one, self-sufficiency, and two, community empowerment. These are principles that Dr. Pratt directly links to the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So thank you, Brother Turi Muhammad, for that, letting us know about those. Also, the final call has to highlight, moving further into the paper, that fruit of Islam's service and soldiering for a purpose. These are the men who wake at dawn. They go out corner to corner, door to door with the final call newspaper. This week's images include brothers pushing the paper from Greensboro, North Carolina, Baltimore, Maryland, Milwaukee, Compton, Rialto, Las Vegas, Houston, Chicago, and get this, student Eastern Regional Minister himself, Brother Arthur Muhammad, showcased going out in New York. And then on page 7, and by the way, tonight I believe we're going to have a short presentation of the final call, the Justice Report, only because of the preparations for the little graduates. I shouldn't say little because they're not all little. My granddaughter is graduating kindergarten, but we have those going up into the higher grades as well. So there's a lot going on, and we may wrap soon tonight. But on page 7, exciting time was had by all at the 30th Annual National Training Conference. We were in Tinley Park, Illinois. This training conference was spearheaded by he's our student assistant supreme captain of the Nation of Islam, but he is also Grandmaster Abdul Aziz Muhammad. He and Sister Aziza Muhammad, Sensei, pardon me, you get this right, Sensei Aziza Muhammad, and their team, an excellent team for the National Training Seminar, put this on for us. It was a great weekend of training mentally, spiritually, and physically. And for highlights, photographs, more about that, you may visit finalcall.com and upcoming. We do have some images in the current issue. Sister Donna Muhammad, Brother James Muhammad, our contributing editor, myself, and more have some coverage coming up in the Final Call newspaper. So moving further in, before we get to wind down our special section on the U.S. policy of depopulation, the Final Call lifts an excerpt from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan during his Swan Song Savior's Day 2022 presentation. The article is entitled, "You Do Not Have to Take a Shot. We Have Survived." Please read it and share it. I won't go more into it. I want you to go to the Final Call, read the Final Call, share the Final Call. Before I go into the round out, I do want to say that Sounds of Harmony. Thank you, Sister Valerie, our student protocol during. Come make an announcement. Sister Valerie's back here preparing. That's why we're going to wrap early today.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Now they can probably hear you. Go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I pray a lot everyone is doing well. Well, I just gave Sister Charlene a advertisement of our NOI musical ensemble, which will be here August 16th. You want to make sure that you take out an ad for the beautiful tour bill that we will be displaying all of the businesses from the Nation of Islam and other businesses in the community. So you want to make sure you get your full page ad or half page ad. All the information is at www.noimusicalensemble.org. Make sure that you get your face in the place August 16th. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Sister Valerie. Walaikum salam. Look at Sister Sabur. Oh my God, you look beautiful. Yeah, I'm sorry you are. I'm unexpectedly going to have to wrap early because they're pouring in. But let me give you some more information. Sounds of Harmony, the musical ensemble, is arriving in Los Angeles August 16th. The doors are going to open at 5 p.m. at the Beam Theater at 3400 Wattway in Los Angeles. This experience, we're wanting you to come and experience the cultural essence of classical music at its best. Secure your tickets at noimusicalensemble.org. And if you're interested, again, in promoting your business in our musical ensemble program, a full page is just $300. A half page is just $200. Submit your payment at noimusicalensemble.org. Oh, y'all should see Queen Amina. You on the air. Come on around. Come on around. Look at Queen Amina right here. We're getting ready for the graduates, y'all. This is so exciting. So I had to move. I live down in the South Bay area, so in order to kind of be on time for the graduation, et cetera, I had to get in here. But really wanted to highlight what's happening with the Final Call newspaper and the continue. Assalamu alaikum, student minister Sabur. Oh, I feel like I'm on a carpet, but I'm not. Our student minister from Oakland, Muslim at 26, just passed by. Student Minister Abdul Sabur Muhammad, and they've been doing a wonderful job all year, a hard job. Our teachers with all of the schools, Muhammad University of Islam, the students here at NOI Los Angeles, across the country, across the world, we just applaud you all for taking our little minds and molding them and shaping them. So to continue on with the Final Call newspaper, we want to know if you knew that the National Education Association's 7,000 member representative of assembly voted to cut ties with Israel. Now, I'm going to go into a little bit of that article because it's very, very crucial. You know, they're supposed to be reviewing it now, the actual 9-member committee that it has. But the teachers spoke out. What they said was that they voted to cut ties with the Anti-Defamation League. Specifically, this is what they voted. Among many items debated at NEA's 2025 Representative Assembly, delegates voted to forward a recommendation to the Executive Committee that the National Education Association not use, endorse, or publicize materials from the Anti-Defamation League, ADL, or participate in ADL programs. This was according to a July 10th news release that the NEA put out. Now, the National Education Association is the nation's largest labor union. It represents more than 3 million members. They include educators, students, activists, right? That's a lot of people. Now, the Representative Assembly, whose delegates voted to cut ties with the ADL, that's 7,000 people. And they did this on July 6th. And their rationale was, according to what they called New Business Item 39, submitted by 50 delegates. This is their quote: educators embrace the urgency to respond to the questions of racism, injustice, and all forms of bigotry. Despite its reputation as a civil rights organization, the ADL is not the social justice educational partner it claims to be. Now, what the NEA president, Becky Pringle, who happens to be a Black woman, states, there is a critical need for us as educators to model the type of respectful dialogue and discourse we want to see in the world, in our classrooms, and on our campuses. She said, we will not shy away from difficult or complex issues that affect our members, our students, or our schools, nor will we ever tolerate anti-Semitism, anti-Palestinian bigotry, or hateful rhetoric or behavior. Now, one of the problems became that the group has felt that the ADL has bullied them. So I want to get down to some of their recent statements. Let me find it. I'm not sure if we edited it out. but the NEA itself had made a statement. Well, I think that's something that we kind of shorten for brevity, but I'll go with what Jewish Voice for Peace and others said about the NEA's initial vote. Jewish Voice for Peace is critical of many of Israel's policies regarding Palestinians. Hashtag Drop the ADL from Schools, a campaign by longtime educators and advocates likewise, and the Council on American Islamic Relations CARE, as well as the anti-war group Code Pink. Code Pink granted the final call a statement. Code Pink applauds the NEA's rejection of the ADL, a lobby organization that has lost credibility with teachers. This said Marcy Winograd. She's a retired public high school teacher and member of the California Teachers Association and United Teachers Los Angeles. Quote, the vote symbolizes a shift in attitudes to recognize the dignity and humanity of Palestinians and to reject ADO propaganda that has no place in our schools, stated Ms. Winograd. The ADL only pretends to be a civil rights organization. Quote, this is Jewish Voice for Peace now. In reality, it operates as a pro-Israel lobbying group focused on co-opting and abusing accusations of anti-Semitism to smear criticism of the Israeli government as bigotry. Student Minister Dimitri Muhammad. Well, one of the things I want to say before I get to Brother Dimitri is that the ADL attacked Black Lives Matters, and this, in addition to what's happening with the policies it has on Palestine and the war in Gaza, in Palestine, this is drumming up a lot of support for people to drop the ADL. So over the years, the ADL has attacked groups and activists who support Palestinian rights, oppose Israel's actions and genocide against the Palestinian people, the movement for Black Lives, and the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa. For decades, the ADL has also slandered, I'm talking about decades, since 1980s when the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan stood up to help Reverend Jesse Jackson in his campaign for the U.S. presidency, and then stood up to defend him when the ADL and other Zionist Jews attacked and even threatened the life of Reverend Jackson. Minister Farrakhan has been slandered, defamed, viciously attacked by these people through today. So for decades, the ADL has also slandered and attacked the Nation of Islam and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan with the false charges of anti-Semitism. I will announce a book toward the end, after this, that you can find out more information and how we are defending against that. So the NEA's decision was commended by those who see through the ADL's history of duplicity and false allegations. Now, here is Dr. Melina Abdullah, co-founder of Black Lives Matter Los Angeles and Black Lives Matter Grassroots. She told the final call, quote, the National Education Association should be applauded for coming into line with what most every other organization of conscience understands. The Anti-Defamation League, ADL, is a Zionist propagandist body that seeds untruths and stokes racism and xenophobia. The ADL should be declared persona non grata by every self-respecting organization, educator, and human being, added Dr. Molina. Now here's Student Minister Dimitri Muhammad, a member of the Nation of Islam Research Group, who is also an author. He feels the NEA's vote represents an awakening. Quote, I believe it could represent the fact that, as the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan have said, that there would be, as the scriptures foretell, a falling away of people who fall under the influence of propaganda that's negative to the servant of God, and then they'll fall away from the servant of God, end quote. According to Student Minister Dimitri, my article continues, the NEA delegates' vote is a step in the right direction and in harmony with his observations in various areas. Brother Student Minister Dimitri observed, there are fractures in the once upon a time seemingly unshakable commitment and support for Israel from the American people, due to the recent conflict between Israel and Palestine in Gaza and how the ADO has functioned within America. According to student minister Dimitri's observation, the ADO has used its influence and leveraged relationships with many different organizations and people, including members of the US Congress and American politicians, by using media and social media to silence and censor any voices and information that is critical of the Israeli government and Israel's conduct in Gaza and the West Bank. But, said student minister Dimitri Mohammed, people from different public personalities and figures are beginning to fall away from this once upon a time unquestionably, unquestionable loyalty to Israel. Now, in a recent poll by CNN conducted by marketing research firm SSRS, quote, Americans are increasingly skeptical of Israeli actions in Gaza, and also, that's Gaza, unquote, and also, quote, finds rising sentiment that the U.S. should pull back on military aid to Israel, unquote. So the article goes on to discuss how younger adults across parties express the most skepticism towards Israel. It also includes a Newsweek article um, excerpt titled American Sympathy for Israel Reaches All-Time Low. That's a new poll. And it also talks about, the article concludes with a diverse group of more than 300 organizations, from the Movement for Black Lives to the National Lawyers Guild to the Red Nation, who have signed on to the hashtag Drop the ADL campaign. So what I will do is pull a book that I would like to share with you all from the Nation of Islam. And I encourage you to move further into the Final Call newspaper's current edition with the cover story, More Than an Actor, celebrating and remembering the life of Malcolm Jamal Warner. Sister Donna Muhammad of Memphis, our contributing writer, has a disaster preparedness article. And of course, we have the riveting message from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the center page article from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Following him, our dear brother, Minister Jabril Muhammad, and with Farrakhan the Traveler, and Mother Tainetta Muhammad with her column, number 19. May Allah be pleased with both of them. So before we close out so that I can go and somewhere assist, I think, with the graduates that are coming in, I would like to go to store. You maybe can go with me to it, store.finalcall.com. And let's find, we're calling it a blue book. Let's see, Defending Farrakhan. Let me find that. I miss you all. I'll be back. Here it is. It's called Revealing the Truth and Exposing the Synagogue of Satan. The Synagogue of Satan. Let me do it again. Revealing the Truth and Exposing the Synagogue of Satan. A defense against the false charge of anti-Semitism. It is a student workbook. So I want to enlarge it, and let's see if I can share my screen here. Get rid of that. Allow, we'll see. Here it is. Do you see it? I don't see it. Where is it at? Oh. Pray for me. Here it is. Very, very, very intriguing book. Very intriguing. I want the whole thing to show. Oh boy. I don't know what's showing. Oh, I get it. You have to do that. Okay. There it is. All right. Woo! I'm coming back, you guys. I'm getting it. A defense against the false charge of anti-Semitism. And so you can buy this book for 10 simple bucks. You can buy this book. This book goes into the history of the false charge. I'm talking about deep history. chronicles people all throughout, people you would not believe who have been labeled with this, the destruction it has caused, and how it is being exposed. So I will stop there. That's going to be our show for today. And I'm really glad to stop sharing, to have been able to present, however briefly today, and return with Liberated Sisters. We have some reformatting, restructuring in store. But one thing that will be a mainstay for sure is the Final Call newspaper. So thank you for bearing. Look at the young, look at Fahim. Assalamu alaikum. I'm sorry. That's why I gotta go. Little Fahim, he was a graduate of MUI. He's at headquarters now. Keep all of the students graduating across the country in prayer. But I think I was saying, thank you for joining me for however brief today. Again, I plan to go an hour, but we have something, and I had to stick and move. So here is our topic for today: the Final Call newspaper, the Justice Report, and cover story. Malcolm Jamal Warner, may you rest in peace, dear brother. I'm Sister Charlene Muhammad, saying if it's impacting our community or can uplift us as a people, let's talk about it. Peace.